Hey legends, welcome along to Hellmouth Hotline. I am your host, Rodney Stewart. We're getting into another episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 2. This is episode 13, entitled Surprise. Now, this is one that, if you're a Buffy fan, you'll know the score of what happens. If you're not, and you're new to the show, you know, it's really weird sitting in 2021 saying if you're new to the show. I have witnessed it more times than enough in the past. Recent months, actually, I've been having pop culture conversations with people, and me being 42 years old at the moment, you know, people think that 42 is ancient. Like, I know back whenever I was a teenager and whatnot, you seen somebody at 42, you thought they were so old. But whenever you get to this age, like, I still think of myself as like a 23, 24 year old. Like, it's unreal. And in the last couple of months, I've had conversations with people and something's come up, and I've made a reference to the X-Files. People have got no clue what I'm talking about. And a couple of years back, I actually sat down with a friend of mine and actually showed him the Star Wars trilogy, the original Star Wars trilogy, the very first time the man had ever seen it. You're talking, 2017 at this point, and this guy had no clue about Star Wars, and actually sat and watched all three of them back to back, and he was just blown away by it. But you know, so people are even now new to a lot of stuff. And Buffy the Vampire Slayer, very, very iconic series. But, you know, spoilers going into my podcast here if you've never seen it before. But this one here is a huge episode in the overall arc of the series. Right, enough chitter chatter. Let's get into the actual review, shall we? So, in a surprise, it is Buffy's birthday. The episode opens up. There's a dream sequence. Buffy has a very, very vivid dream about a very undead Drusilla. And that's weird in saying a very undead Drusilla, because she's a vampire, so she's actually the undead. But at this point of the series, we do think both Drusilla and Spike are dead. But in this dream sequence, it gives it away at the very beginning. She pretty much wakes up during the night, reaches for a glass of water, which is empty, so she gets up to go to the kitchen to get a glass of water, and as she leaves her room, you see Drusilla following her down the hall of the house. Now, as we do know, vampires can't enter the house without an invite, so that's the tip off right there. If you don't get it then, you're thick as champ. But the dream goes on. She sees a couple of different things that happen. So within it, her mother appears and she says, "Are you ready?" And she's holding a cup of coffee at the bronze with a saucer below the cup, and she drops it whenever she says that. Later on in the episode, she pretty much, in real life, says the same words again, and you start to see the is this dream that Buffy has, is this a foretelling of something that's going to happen? Also within that dream, Angel gets dusted by Drusilla. Anyway, back to the episode. Oz finally asks Willow out on a date. She accepts, but remembers that the Scoobies are actually planning a surprise party for Buffy's 17th birthday, and instead invites him to the party. Elsewhere, Drusilla, strong as Buffy's dreamed, arranges her own gala event, while Spike, using a wheelchair but quite undead as well, directs his gang to collect scattered pieces of a demon known as the Judge to reassemble for her present. Jenny Calendar. Now, this is an aspect of the series, like, I know I've seen the series a few times over the years, everything, but you know, the longer you go without actually seeing the show, the more things kind of slip through, and this is one of the aspects of the show. Jenny Calendar, of course I do know what's destined to happen to her within the series, but there's a little bit of her backstory that comes out in this episode that I'd completely forgot about. She gets a visit from a mysterious man who reveals that Miss Calendar's past is actually connected to the family of gypsies that cursed Angel with his human soul, and they discuss her responsibilities in ensuring Angel's continued suffering. So it turns out she's been there to make sure that Angel is still suffering for his past crimes. The man orders Jenny to separate Angel from the Slayer. Jenny agrees, and she reveals that the man is her uncle. So, obviously she's family. On their way to Buffy's surprise birthday party, she and Miss Calendar intercept a piece of the judge and bring it to the party. Deducing. I am very bad at England sometimes, so please forgive my misuse and missteps of words. They figure out Drew's plot. Following her gypsy orders, Jenny encourages Angel on his mission to prevent the dire consequences of the reassembly of the judge. He must take the judge's arm by cargo ship to the remotest region possible. This is going to take months and months and months for Angel to do this. While Angel gives Buffy a ring for her birthday, during their tearful departing at the dock, Spike's vampire cronies turn up and manage to steal the arm back, scrubbing the mission. Miss Calendar has failed in trying to separate the two of them. Later at the library, Buffy has another informative dream and takes Angel to investigate the factory where Spike and Drusilla have their lair. They discover the judge is fully assembled and activated, and Spike and Drusilla capture and taunt both Angel and Buffy, debating on who will die first. They narrowly manage to escape into the sewer system, and that. And again, knowing the series, and I knew this was going to happen, but I forgot this was actually the actual episode where it happens. I was fully waiting for the big showdown with the judge against Buffy and Angel at this point. So even for me, knowing the series at this point, it's been that long since I actually watched it. It's like brand new information for me at times. For example, the whole Miss Calendar thing in this episode. And they managed to escape into the sewer system, and they returned to Angel's apartment, exhausted, drenched, soaked to the skin from the rain, still suffering from successive threats of losing one another. Of course, the passion has been boiling up to this point, and the fact that Buffy almost lost Angel to 6 months to a year mission to get rid of this arm. Now they almost died at the hands of the judge. Angel and Buffy confess their true feelings for each other, and Angel has been trying to suppress them. He's trying to be the responsible one in the series now. And in all honesty, no, I'm not going to in this episode because you don't actually see it happening, but I will cover it in the next Buffy review. They confess their feelings for each other, and they make love for the first time. They get it on, but of course, this being a family-friendly show, you don't actually get to see any of that stuff in there, which is fair enough for me. I think the show is far better without actually showing it. I'm all on for it. Don't get me wrong. If you know my shows and podcasts and videos and whatnot, I tend to be the sort of person that doesn't feel that nudity or flat out sex scenes are something as essential for a show to succeed. And I am all up for if there is a naked woman on screen, fair enough, I'm all on for checking that out. I'm a man at the end of the day, straight as you can get. I do enjoy a bit of bare flesh when it comes to the female form, but I don't feel that it's necessary for a show. And Buffy the Vampire Slayer definitely and even at that, there, the character of Buffy is still in high school at this point. You're just, you don't need to see that sort of stuff. And yes, they do it very, very tastefully, both within the show and later on in the Angel show as well. So they get it on for the first time, fall asleep in each other's arms. Suddenly, in a flash of lightning and a crash of thunder, Angel bolts awake and runs out into the storm, drops to his knees, calling Buffy's name in anguish. He's in pain, something's happening at the end of this episode. Whenever it first came out, we hadn't got a clue where this was going to lead. But for anybody that does know the show, you know what's coming in the next review. So if you're new to the series, I want these to be informative, give you a bit of the story and what's happening to it, and the possibly get you to actually go check the show out for yourself. It is absolutely fantastic. I don't want to go out of my way to actually completely destroy it with spoilers for you, but this one here is definitely a show that surprised me this morning. Now, and saying that, the title of the show, or the episode is Surprise, and for me it was definitely a genuine surprise to me that this was going to happen in this episode. And yes, it's good stuff. Brilliant little episode, and I'm looking forward to getting into the rest of this series, because if this episode has taught me one thing, there's a lot of stuff that has kind of, over the years of not actually having seen it, there's a lot of stuff that has slipped through the cracks for me, so it's new stuff for me as well. Guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. Definitely give me a little follow on whatever podcast provider you're listening to in this here, and if you want to check out some of my other stuff, get over to my website, coinsagemedia.com. check out some of the YouTube stuff and the other audio podcasts we got going over there. So guys, stay safe, and I will talk to you in the next episode. This has been a production of Coins Age Media. Thank you so much for listening.